Tricks for pleasure. Select your favorite essential oil and pour a few drops of this scented oil onto your hands. Make sure that your plasma are well oiled and then place this on your partner's things. Make sure that your plasma are well oiled and then place this on your partner's things and little above their knees. Start by gently kneading and move upwards. Take your time and let the anticipation build. This build-up of sexual tension will just add to the experience and make it more pleasurable. Don't touch your partner's genitals. Instead, focus on the areas around the genitals. Take the nail road. Make use of your nails and gently trace patterns of figure either on your lover's thigh or run your nails lightly along the length of their back or their calf. Tease all those areas that are sensitive to touch and vary the pressure to elicit different reactions from your partner. Try the oral sex rub. Take some time and try and massage your partner's ear. Make sure that you are being gentle and make use of light tugs. Use your fingers and start working from the outer fold of the ear towards the inner ear. Run your little finger along the outer edge of the finger. You can whisper sweet nothings and endearments into your partner's ear while doing this. You can gently lick and poke around with your tongue if you are feeling lightly adventurous. Now, turn up the heat. After all this teasing and the tantalizing foreplay, it is time to turn up the heat. You and your partner can indulge in some oral sex or explore one of the many tantric sex positions that you have read about in the previous chapter. It is up to you the manner in which you want to turn up the heat in the bedroom. Take your time as you did with all the foreplay. It isn't a quickie. It is about savoring the moment and honoring each other's bodies. These principles will help you in improving your sexual experiences. Tantric sex is about engaging your senses and your consciousness in the moment and deriving the maximum pleasure you possibly can. Chapter 12. Supplementary activities to improve tantric sex. The main purpose of Tantra is to help you achieve brilliant orgasms that you have been denied because of your regular sexual practices. However, this doesn't mean that Tantra should be treated lightly. Think of Tantra as a sensual workout. Tantric sex is considered to be more enjoyable than having to spend hours together at the gym, but the amount of physical erection that your body experiences can be compared to that you might experience while performing any heavy exercise. Moreover, there are different levels of tantric sex. Simply jumping into Tantra without any experience or preliminary practice may make your sex life better, but it is so much better when you engage in some form of pre-sex warm-up exercise that will help in setting the mood and building up some anticipation as to what is yet to come. There are several ways in which you can warm up, but possibly the best way possibly would be to give your partner a massage and have your partner give you one as well. This will loosen up your muscles, which is important because stiff muscles can get in the way of a full body orgasm. The massage that you are given to prepare your lover for tantric sex has some specific rules that are attached to it, along with a technique that is designated to heighten the sexual sensitive and make the body more receptive to further sexual stimulation. Also, this massage can be coupled with a technique that can be used on a woman to make her achieve an orgasm. This will contribute greatly to the quality of tantric sex because receiving one orgasm makes a person patient for the next one, and this provides you with the necessary opportunity to tease your partner and draw out the sex. The use of oil. The first things that you need before you can give your lover a pre-sex massage is oil. Oil is a great tool that can be made use of if you want your massage to be more effective. It helps in loosening the skin up and providing lubrication for your hands. If your hands can slide and glide smoothly across your lover's body more effectively, then it will also help in making the massage more sensual and helps in leading up to the actual sex. The best oil that you can make use of in a pre-sex massage is grapeseed oil. This is because grapeseed oil has the less number of people that are allergic to it and can be great for your skin. Thereby, by giving your lover a grapeseed oil massage, you are going to be helping him or her to get softer skin as well. And isn't this an excellent added bonus? You can always add a few drops of your favorite scented or essential oil to make the experience even better. Different essential oils can be made use of depending upon the particular reason for which it is being used. For instance, lavender can be made use of for relaxing and soothing muscles. Rose can be made use of for giving a more sensual feel to the massage. If grapeseed oil is not available, go for any other oil that has been manufactured for the purpose of massage. The technique. The first thing that you will have to do is obviously start spreading the oil across your lower body. Make sure that the oil is distributed evenly all over the body, and keep in mind that too little oil will not provide adequate lubrication and result in chafing. However, making use of too much would just end up getting messy, and this can be annoying. Try to find a happy medium. While you are spreading the oil across your partner's body, you will find that the skin absorbs the oil very quickly. Hence, you will have to keep frequently spreading more oil across his or her body if the lubrication stops being sufficient. Once the oil has been spread across your partner's body, the massage can properly begin. Initially, it will be a good idea to start with basic compression of all of the major muscles. The muscles you should go for when applying wide and non-specific compression are the thigh muscles, because this area is usually under the most strain throughout the day. Once the muscles have been loosened up in your partner's leg, you can move his or her back, the second most tense area of the average body. Just apply pressure with your flattened palm. And remember to communicate with your partner as much as you can about what feels good and what is painful. Try lightly slapping areas that you feel are already loose to stimulate blood circulation in these areas. Remember not to slap so hard that it hurts unless your partner wants you to, of course. Once you have completed this massage and loosened up the major muscle groups, it is time to begin focused compression with the tips of your fingers and your fists. There are specific areas that you should be targeting during focused compression, and these areas are specified in the next section. Areas to target. Breasts. The breasts are one particular area of the human anatomy that tend to attract a lot of attention. And it so happens that they are also an excellent source of sexual stimulation for many people. They also tend to have very concentrated points of tension that, when released, end up making the person feel incredibly relaxed and peaceful. Therefore, breasts are obviously going to be one of the most important areas of the body that you should target. Points of tension here are probably going to be on the lower half of the breasts. It is important that you feel around, trying to find the area where the tension exists. This little ball of tension can be found right below the nipple, and your partner might probably cry out when you hit this particular spot. However, do not misinterpret this pain and stop the massage. This pain is very enjoyable, with many people comparing it to the feeling one gets while scratching an itch. An important thing to note while performing such a massage is the origin of these little balls of tension that are present in the body. They are not simply muscular tension. Their origin is more metaphysical and physical in nature. You are already familiar with various chakras present in the body. However, you probably aren't aware that these chakras are the major stops in a vast network of energy that is flowing within your body. Vortices through which energy constantly flows. However, there are certain situations where the flow of energy can get disrupted. This usually happens due to a poor diet or an injury in a past life that might have a residual effect on your body in this life. As a result, when you apply deep pressure to these points, the energy starts to get released, thus removing the obstruction that was previously blocking the flow of energy in your body. Releasing energy is painful, but at the same time quite enjoyable because the flow of energy provides vitally and increased sexual sensitivity to your body. This means that when you massage these points, your partner is going to feel an intense itching sensation that will devolve into a tickling sensation as the blockage is removed from the energy pathways in the body. The best way in which you can apply pressure to this particular point is by pressing down using the tips of your fingers. Start by applying pressure and moving your hands in a circular motion. This will release the energy blockage in a very mild and efficient way. The circular motion loosens up stuck energy and then allows your hand to move away to a different part of the blockage, allowing the loosened up energy to flow into the energy pathway without being obstructed by the compression of your fingers. You can also apply intense pressure to this point. This is very useful because it will release energy from the blockage in an extremely intense manner, and this will end up opening your partner up for intense sexual stimulation. But this is another area of the body that most people are very aroused by. As it turns out, the butt is just as prone to blockades in energy as breasts are. Probably because of the intense amount strain they go through when the people they are attached to spend the vast majority of their day sitting in an office. With the amount of sitting that we do, it is not wonder that the pathways of energy in your derrieres end up getting backed up. With the amount of sitting that we do, it is not wonder that the pathways of energy in our derrieres end up getting backed up. The important thing here is to feel your way around the area. Blockades can occur in several different parts of the butt, so you will have to poke around a little to find out where exactly the blockage has occurred. An odd little coincidence is that the energy blockage is probably going to occur in the same place on both cheeks. So if you find the spot on one cheek, simply start pressing the same spot on the other cheek as well. Apply the same circular motion with the tips of your fingers that you use it on your partner's breast. These energy blockades might require some more pressure. However, so if your partner is unable to feel anything when you are massaging him or her, just try using your thumb instead. You might face difficulty finding the pressure points in this part of the body, especially if your partner has been gifted with a curvy backside. This is because the energy pathways are buried underneath a lot of flesh. Breasts rarely even pose such as problem even if the breasts in questions are quite large. This is because the pressure points located in breasts are not as deep as the ones in the backside. Hence, if you are facing difficulty locating your partner's pressure point, use your thumb and it will do the trick. If your thumb is still not sufficient, try using something rigid like a pen to apply pressure. Just make sure you use the rear end of the pen and not the point end. Using such a tool will help you to provide incredibly focused pressure onto the energy blockage, facilitating a very quick dissipation of energy and in the process probably turning your partner on a great deal. Inner ties. Finding the blockage in energy in this area of your body might turn out to be a lot more difficult than finding it on another parts of the body. This is why a perfunctory massage. Perfunctory massage of the thighs is necessary before you begin to probe for pressure points. The muscle massage is helpful because it will remove a lot of distractions from that general area. A lot of the time you might be probing for the pressure point and would supposedly find it quickly, only to discover that it was just basic muscle pain and not the pain that stems from a blockage energy pathway. However, if you have relaxed the muscles in your partner's thighs, the process should be a lot easier. One good tip that you should follow is to look for the pressure point in the upper inner thigh, which means the area of your thigh that is directly below your partner's crotch. Try to squeeze this area generally to find the general location of the pressure point and then narrow it down by using the tips of your fingers. When you find the pressure point, start applying the same circular pressure that you used to both the previous body parts. Be mindful while applying pressure to the inner thighs. The pressure point here is a lot more delicate than the pressure points in the butt or even the breasts. Gentle pressure will get the job done, and apply too much pressure will just end up causing unnecessarily pain that will probably force your partner out of the mood. If the circular motion technique proves to be too intense for your partner, try moving your fingers forward as you gently massage the point instead. This will help by applying much gentler pressure than the circular motion, and the fact that it is much more sensual certainly doesn't hurt either. Lower back. This area of the body is very different from the three areas discussed previously, and so will tackle in a manner that is completely different to the way that the previous body parts were tackled. What makes the lower back so unique is that it doesn't have a single point of energy blockage that you will have to focus on. Either you or partner will have one of two possible energy blockade situations, each of which has its specific technique that you can use to tackle it. The first situation will be that there are several dozen separate points of energy blockage that are peppering across your entire lower back. Being focused specifically on the section of your lower back directly before your butt, along with the area of your lower back that is directly along your spine. The second situation will be that the energy blockage will be spread out across the entire of your lower back, with the energy nexuses interconnecting to form a network of blockage similar to the actual network of energy pathways that your body possesses. She put 2 seconds situations. Okay, another second situation. The second situation is most often seen in women. The third situation is most often seen in women with large breasts and people who do a lot of manual labor. This is because such people tend to put a lot of strain on their lower back, forcing the energy pathways to get blocked, because these strenuous activities would interrupt their circulation. Overall, the lower back is always going to be a very serious place of energy blockades, unless your partner gets regular massages. And the benefits of this is that even the slightest massage is this area will greatly stimulate your partner and will result in almost instant arousal if done right. To find out which of the 2 energy blockade situations your partner is suffering from, you are going to have to probe quite a lot. Use your fingers to see where the energy blockades are. If there are spaces between the points where your partner feels pain, this means that the energy blockades that your partner is suffering from are separate from each other. However, if every inch of your partner's back aches when you massage it in that special itchy, tinkly way, then your partner energy blockade situations is of the second type. The first situation is a lot more difficult to tackle than the second situation. Since the energy blockades are not connected, you are going to have to tackle each one individually rather than all at the same time. This is because attempting to massage several points at once could result in unpleasant pain for your partner. However, solving this energy blockage situation is not that difficult once you get the hang of it. Simply press each pressure point and release the blockage by moving your hands in the circular motion that you will be familiar to by now. Yes. You will soon discover that once you take care of one blockade, the ones around it will begin to get weaker automatically. This means that focusing on several important spots will allow you to dissipate the energy blockades and have the energy pathways flowing freely into time. The second situation, however, requires a very different approach. The first thing you must know about this approach is that it involves absolutely no subtlety. The energy blockade is severe and it's going to get in the way of your partner's orgasm. And since the blockage is widespread and interconnected, the best things that you can do is try to tackle as much of it at the same time as you can. Warm up your partner's lower back by using your thumbs to ease the energy blockades into getting a little weaker. After a minute or two of this, you should begin using your fists. Knead your partner's lower back as if it was dough. This may seem funny, but if you knead your partner's lower back exactly the way you would knead dough, with the quick movements and not stay in the same place for too long, your partner will soon be so relaxed that they'd feel as though they are floating away. The second situation, although technically more severe, is a lot easier to dissipate than the first situation. Just make sure that you do not end up hurting your partner by applying too much pressure. Remember, communication is essential if you want to make sure that the massage experience is as enjoyable as possible. You will find that no another area will provide as much sexual stimulation as the lower back as it is begin massage. This is because the energy that is being released is making them a lot more sensitive to sexual stimuli. Giving your partner a full body orgasm will become a lot easier after you have massaged her back to the fullest extent possible. Feet and hands. Each and every body part that has been discussed in this section is important. Massaging these body parts is an essential part of preparing your body for the intensity of tantric sex. However, even though the lower back is home to the most severe energy blockage in your entire body, there are not parts of your body that is more important to massage than your hands and your feet. This is because your hands and feet contain major energy pathways because so much energy is lost and gained through your extremities. Also, since you use your hands and feet so much, a lot of these energy pathways end up getting blockage. This is particularly important to note because the pathway for pretty much every single organ in your body is present in your hands and feet. This means that easing the blockage out of the energy pathways in your hands and feet will help your body to become more sensitive to stimuli. making the climax of your lovemaking that much more intense. Since the pathways in your partner's hand are so diverse and close to each other, you do not have to focus on each point individually. You can instead give your hand general massage as long as you make sure that you target every part of your hand during the massage. However, as far as your partner's feet are concerned, a general massage won't do. The foot has separated clusters of energy pathway nexus instead of the pointless spread of nexus that your hands has, which means that a general massage might help you loosen the muscle of your foot up, but probably won't too much to free the energy blockades. Hence, for your feet, you are going to have to apply deep pressure using your thumb. The first area you should try is the upper center of your foot, as this area commonly has a cluster of energy blockades in it since so much strain is placed on it throughout the day. After you have applied pressure and loosened it up, this energy blockage, you can begin exploring for more blockades and liberating. Other common areas include the heel and the big toe, with the little toes also having nexuses for minor energy pathways. You can also use this technique on your partner's hands as well. Certain areas of your hand contain blockades for nexuses serving specific parts of the body. The body part that you care about right now is your partner's vagina, so naturally you are going to want to massage a part of your partner's hand that would help to remove energy blockades, leading to this all-important part of your partner's anatomy. The part of your hand that connects via energy pathways to your partner's vagina is the heel of her hand, which is the fleshy part of her hand underneath her thumb. Pressing down here will give your partner that itchy pain that comes with the pressing of pressure points, but that's not all it does. Blockage energy pathways are a big contributor to your inability to bring your partner to orgasm. If no energy is reaching the area that so desperately needs the energy to climax, your partner will not have an orgasm no matter how many fancy tricks you try. Hence, releasing the energy blockades from this part of your partner's hand will help make her vagina a lot more sensitive. The important part is that it will become sensitive all the way through, which is going to make her G-spot, that rarely discovered fount of infinity ecstasy for women, a lot easier to find. This easy discovery of your partner's G-spot is going to prove immensely useful in the next part of the capture, where a unique technique is going to be discussed that is going to give you the ability to provide your partner with mind-blowing orgasms. that will course through her entire body and potentially last for hours. The two-finger jerk technique. Here, page 99. The two-finger jerk technique. This is perhaps one of the most useful techniques that you can never learn, and it is quite effective. There is not greater pleasure than in having the knowledge that you have managed to provide your partner with an intense orgasm. By making use of this technique, you will be able to help your partner achieve an orgasm that she will truly enjoy. It is very important that you perform the massage properly for several days at least before trying this technique. It involves intense sexual energy, and attempting to do it while your partner's energy pathways are blocked can result in the energy congestion getting a lot worse than it was. This is because this technique results in a veritable eruption of sexual energy from your partner's vagina at the time of the orgasm. Remember, these are full body orgasms that you are about to give your partner, so the sexual energy that she is about to emit is going to be intense. Additionally, you are probably going to end up giving her far more than one orgasm. This technique will allow you to give her orgasm after orgasm, which means that the energy is not just going to be intense. There is going to be a lot of it coursing through her, so her energy pathways need to be clear. Once you have given her the massage every day for at least a week, you will be ready to apply the technique. Give her the same massage to get her into the mood and get her as relaxed as possible. Remember, the more relaxed she is, the fewer blockades there are going to be during the act itself. Getting her nice and loose would mean that the orgasm would rip through her in no time. Once the massage is finished, have her lie on her back. Relax all of the muscles, and then spread her legs. Once her legs are spread, stimulate her vagina by rubbing it gently. You will notice that she is a lot more receptive to your touch right now. This is because her sexual energy is flowing a lot more freely than it was before. And as a result, her vagina is going to feel everything a lot more strongly. Once you have stimulated her clitoris using your fingers, you must insert 2 fingers into her vagina. It is highly recommended that you face your palm upwards and insert your middle and ring fingers into it with your index and little finger facing downwards and your thumb facing outwards. Once you are in, you will have to jerk your hand upwards. Your fingers are going to be directly underneath your partner's G-spot, a bundle of nerves that, when stimulated, can give your partner extremely intense orgasms. Jerking your hands upwards will press your inserted fingers against your partner's G-spot, and you will immediately notice that there are waves of intense pleasure flowing across her body. You can ease her into the process by stroking her G-spot with your inserted fingers before you begin to jerk your hands upwards. Whatever you do, make sure that when you do jerk your hands upwards, you do it with moderate force. You may feel as though your partner might get injured if you are too rude with her, but try not to worry about her vagina too much. After all, the vagina is where babies come from, which means that it is designated to be able to handle a bit of rude handling. Not being forceful enough would result in you not being able to stimulate her G-spot. However, if you apply enough force, you are going to be able to make her orgasm within 3 minutes. And before your eyes, you are going to see the efficacy, and before your eyes, you are going to see the efficacy of this technique as your partner practically loses control of her limbs. Once you give her the first orgasm, giving her another orgasm is going to be very easy. All you will have to do is apply the same technique, but for a much shorter period. Try to see how many times you make her orgasm before she can't take more. With this technique, it will be easy. Conclusion. I would like to thank you once again for downloading this book, for read this book, for listen this book. I hope by now you will have understood the importance and need for a couple to engage in and be fully involved in their sexual experiences. In today's world, everything is being done in a hurry, in a rush. Whether it is our relationships, conversations, food, or sex, regardless of what it is, everything is being done in a rush. Quickies and casual sex have become the norm of the day, and no one has got time to engage in a sexual experience that transcends the physical boundaries. So, both in the Tantra. Tantra includes a variety of topics, and Tantric Sex is perhaps the most popular one. Tantric Sex is all about taking things slowly, savoring each moment, and enjoying the experience. It's not about attaining an orgasm, but it is about enjoying each other. Different techniques of meditation, exercise, and sexual positions will help in deepening the bond between the partners, and it will help in improving the intimacy quotient in the relationship. I hope this book serves as a basic guide to Tantric Sex. If you follow the various practices mentioned in this book, then you will see a positive change in your sex life. Lovemaking is so much more than just the physical act of sex. It involves forming a bond with your partner. Initially, you will need to consciously make sure that you are following the steps mentioned in this book, but over a period of time, all this will come naturally to you. If you want to see some positive results, then you will need to put in considerable time and effort into this process. It will take a while to get the hang of these techniques, so don't get disheartened and keep trying. Thank you and all the best. And this was our lecture about Tantric Sex. I am Cibele Manweiler Gonça Casanova, and I'm grateful to share.